This is Elaine with a video reply to Up Down Mostly. Hey Up Down, I appreciate your earlier reply to me asking about war powers and declarations of war. Just for fun, I did some research on your question. It kind of intrigued me, and I found a couple of different sites that had some details on that. Wikipedia, of course, but also there was a site called I think it was Rasmussen.com. No, U.S. Constitution Online, which is usconstitution.net, and I did some queries over there for that information. And what I found is that yes, power under the Constitution is required to do a declaration of war, and I think when I hear the phrase declaration, it means something different than what I first thought it meant. It's not that they're doing the announcement that there is a state of war, but it's a declaration that's more on the idea of a resolution. And after the Vietnam War, there was some additional legislation passed in 1973 called the War Powers Act. And the War Powers Act gave the executive branch a little bit more latitude to operate in a timely manner, but it still required the executive branch to seek and obtain the consent of Congress to use force. And let me find, I'll just share a couple of things. One is the provision of the War Powers Act of 1973. The purpose of the War Powers Resolution is to ensure that Congress and the President share in making decisions that may get the U.S. involved in hostilities. Portions of the War Powers Resolution require the President to consult with Congress prior to the start of any hostilities, as well as regularly until U.S. armed forces are no longer engaged in hostilities, which is under Section 3, and to remove U.S. armed forces from hostilities if the Congress has not declared war or passed a resolution authorizing the use of force within 60 days. Following an official request by the President to Congress, the time limit can be extended by an additional 30 days, presumably when unavoidable military necessity requires additional action for a safe withdrawal. So that's the current situation as of 1973. So basically it's understood that it's a shared responsibility, but the President is required to obtain concurrence from Congress, I think is how I would call it, as opposed to consent. The Congress must support the President in providing an authorization of the use of force, which during the Gulf War and also the Afghanistan, or the invasion of Iraq, it was more a case of the executive branch pushing the United Nations to have a resolution that required military force to go into Iraq for specific reasons, and then the President seeking the approval and concurrence of Congress authorizing the use of United States forces. And yeah, obviously it's kind of a slippery slope. It was sort of like, I agree, the coalition of the willing was more a coalition of who we could, behind the scenes, threaten and extort their concurrence to go in with us. It was sort of like, I think, a political thing where it needed to look like it was a coalition. It needed to look like it was not just the United States exercising its force against Iraq. But anyway, the details, like I said, wikipedia.org, obviously, but also the the other source, which was usconstitution.net, and they have a whole bunch of FAQs there. People can put in questions and then they'll get answers back regarding specific details on the U.S. Constitution and all its different provisions that have been added, changed, deleted, amended, and all that kind of stuff over the years. So I wanted to get back to you with an answer. It's been a couple of days. By the way, my partner Carla and I are going to an amateur radio banquet tonight, which is going to be at a big posh place in Mountain View at the Shoreline Golf Course. It's Michael's at Shoreline, which is a big fancy restaurant. So we already got our tickets in a couple months ago and going to go pig out. I'll take the camera. It'll be kind of fun to introduce a bunch of my friends that are in the amateur radio community to YouTube and say hello to all you nice people. So that's it. I need to get going, get myself ready. Believe it or not, I didn't get to sleep until about 4 a.m. Our sleep cycle tends to get really disrupted at times, and it's not just because we stay up late. I think it's some other reasons that I still have to kind of cope with the fact that I have like an unlimited horizon in being retired now. So it's like things move around the clock. I just woke up after having about 11 hours or 12 hours of sleep. So here it is at 3:15 in the afternoon, and I was up about an hour ago. So hey, thank you for the video, and here's my reply. Bye.